You decided to watch this video. But what if we told you that your brain made that decision a few seconds before you even thought about it? Neuroscience suggests that free will is the most convincing illusion your mind has ever created. We fed our AI the data from the most controversial neurobiology experiments in history. Our mission: to visualize the timeline of a decision and answer the question, who is actually in control? Our story begins in 1983 with an experiment that fired a starting pistol on the modern debate over free will. Neuroscientist Benjamin Libet set up a deceptively simple task. Participants watched a special high-speed clock and flexed their wrist whenever they felt the urge. They just had to report the exact moment they felt that conscious intention to move. All the while, an electroencephalogram, or EEG, was reading their brain activity. Libet was looking for the neural signature of a conscious decision. But what he found shook the scientific world. Long before the participants reported their decision, their brain was already preparing for the movement. This slow buildup of electrical activity, dubbed the readiness potential, began on average 550 milliseconds before the action itself. But the conscious will, that moment of "I have decided," appeared on the timeline much later, only about 200 milliseconds before the action. A gap, a 350 millisecond void, where your brain had already initiated the process, and you weren't even aware of it yet. The brain acted first. The mind followed. Still think you are in control? Let's try something for the next 5 seconds. Do not. Think about a white bear. How did you do? If you thought of the bear, it proves a simple point. Thoughts arise spontaneously. We don't fully control what happens in our own minds, let alone our actions. If Libet's experiment was an earthquake, Dr. John Dylan Haynes' work in 2008 was a tsunami. Using modern fMRI scanners, Haynes raised the stakes. Participants had to freely decide whether to press a button with their left or right hand. But now, scientists weren't just looking for a general signal of readiness. They were using sophisticated machine learning algorithms to analyze the subtle patterns of brain activity preceding the choice. What they found was staggering. By analyzing activity in the prefrontal and parietal cortex, a computer knew which button the person would press with high accuracy. 7 to 10 seconds. Before the person was consciously aware of their own decision. Let that number sink in. For a full 10 seconds before the thought, "I'll press the left one," entered your conscious mind, the pattern of neural firing in your brain already contained that information. Your consciousness wasn't the pilot. It was a passenger being told the destination just moments before arrival. This data plunges us headfirst into the chilling waters of determinism, the idea that the universe, including our brains, operates like a vast, predictable machine where every effect has a cause. If this is true, we are complex biochemical robots. Our decisions are just the predictable outcome of physical laws playing out in our brains, not the result of an independent mind piloting our bodies. In this unsettling worldview, your consciousness isn't the CEO giving orders. It's not even in the boardroom. It's the press secretary explaining decisions that were already made by the unconscious mind. But perhaps there is an escape hatch. Libet himself argued that in those final milliseconds, consciousness might have a final power, the power of Veto, the so-called free won't. A tiny window where we can slam the emergency brake. We may not be able to consciously start the process, but we can consciously stop it.
Stop!
Consciousness is not the initiator, it's the final gatekeeper. The data is clear, and our AI synthesis confirms the unsettling reality. You are not the author of your actions, but you are the editor. We may not possess free will, but we fiercely possess free won't. If this investigation made you question reality, support the channel so we can continue exploring the future together.